Hello all you beautiful people, welcome back to Crying Suns. We finally made it to the third sector, and hopefully we will be fighting Admiral something. I'm not even going to pronounce his name now. Let's go ahead and purchase some upgrades. Get our last weapon slot, and get our last... Ooh! That was so expensive. I think that's where we'll stop spending on those. Go ahead and take all their neon. We don't need to repair any holes, so go ahead and hit the star map. Figure out which way we're going. We got two anomalies, one anomaly. It's got a battleship wreckage and a shipyard. That's got an army depot. That's got an army depot. Here we go. Army depot, planetary defense, turret wreckage, then battleship wreckage and shipyard. And probably an Omni Forge. And then cluster boss. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. A church battleship. Oh, and an unidentified ship? Looks like church to me. Couldn't be. You survived somehow. I should have known. Who is this? Didn't recognize us, Admiral? It's true. We're not vitrified. Maybe that's why we're the survivalists. Oh! But I thought that we were dead. Well, you did kill 99.9% of us. That's true. But unfortunately for you, not us. Been searching for the Earth folder. Our prophecies tell us it is here. I never thought in a million years we'd have a chance to kill you too. Oh, they want to kill us too? Oh right, we have a third effect on battleship hull. Fly decay for 18 seconds. There's 15 random sills. Ooh. Go ahead and get this nano drone out too. Ooh, these things are quick. Nasty. Yeah, so easy. Put an end to us, I beg you. May our death deliver us to Earth. I don't want to end your ship. You want to torture us instead, is that it? I hold no ill will towards you. I did not bomb Ganima, and for this, we are now hunted in our home. And if it wasn't you who destroyed Ganima, I believe it was my second in command, Okonkwo, vitrified your people. Admiral Okonkwo, we've been fleeing from his ships for years. Ask why the survivalists didn't want to live with Omnis. Why did you not embrace the Omnis? Did they not make your lives easier? In the beginning we welcomed them, people always forget that. But then the Empire started to use them for more and more purposes. They were increasingly incorporated into our lives. They took over our jobs. And there was never any hesitation to do so, never any discussion regarding negative consequences or moral concern. And we felt that not only were we losing our jobs to the machines, but as we became increasingly dependent on them, our very selves as well. We lost sight of what it is to be human. You have other questions I can see. How did they escape Ganima? We weren't there. Our ship was searching for allies at the time, of which we found none when the Maker of Darkness went off. Makers of Darkness, interesting. When we returned, there was nothing left of our home, nothing but glass. Since then, we've been living on this ship, constantly on the move. These stars are violent enough as is, but when everyone assumes you're the one who shut down the machines, it's doubly violent. And did you shut them down? No. You can believe me, defeated as we are now, there's no reason for us to lie. There were plans among our kind to do so, certainly even attempts, but Oberon was always one step ahead. Living as we have, always on the run, with no one to trust, what lonely lives we've led. And probably sinful, our numbers have grown, may the gods of Earth forgive us. That's more about Earth. This is not the first time I've heard Earth. What can you tell me about it? Oberon forbade the people from talking about it, but our kind never did, and so we know Earth exists somewhere. A planet free of machines, where men and women can live as they should. We've been searching in this cluster for its folder for 20 years, ever since the fleet destroyed our home. Oberon would have wanted to keep such a folder close to him, we know that. The folder Earth, I believe it was once part of the Empire. Oh, you believe it was once part of the Empire? We don't know, maybe not. But there are legends that such a folder exists. Let me ask you something. Don't you think it's strange we know so little about what existed before the Empire that we never even talk about it? You have other questions? Nope. No, I don't. Your ship. Can its damage be repaired? I'm afraid not. The damage is too severe. We ask you, finish us. Finish you, don't overreact. We can transport you safely someplace else. Without a ship of our own, we don't stand a chance. As soon as we are found, we'll be finished. Besides, I don't believe Earth, the old folder, can only be accessed via an ethereal realm, but one needs death to access it. It must be strange for you, Admiral. The people you were thought to have killed now asking you to end them. But it is what we want. It is the only thing that brings us happiness. I can't do what you ask of me. It is murder. It isn't murder, Admiral. It is kindness. Don't finish off the survivalists. Can't have blood of your people on my hands, even if you ask for it. Nor do I believe death will transport you to Earth. Even if this doesn't, could perpetual darkness be worse than this? She'll take our lives then by drinking a neon-based poison. So, wow. It's at the Army Depot. Hopefully they have something worth the Omni I spent to transport this to. Imperial ship, you can help us shut down left our planet in civil war. My people, this and this really. I have no interest. It's a bad either way I pick, so no. I'm not gonna help you. Effects on field units. Hope to break your laser Mark III. Yes, please. Thank you. I'll take the neon. I think we'll just continue on. I think we were going to want to hoard our scrapped and neon. Admiral, you have to help us. These monsters have us locked away in here. What monsters? Scrappers, Admiral. They've kidnapped us and brought us here. I think to make their little scrapper babies. Run along, little Imperial. Nothing going on here but wholesome family fun. I'm just gonna push on from this because I've lost so many times on it. Just scavenge our neon. Let's sacrifice one neon. Do this mission. We're in the middle of some kind of magnetic storm. Interesting. I think some strange readings on the ship's hypercarbonator. Could be this storm. As you know, a carbonator is a carbon filter, sir. Removes excess carbon from the ship. Now, usually Empire filters are top of the line, but our analysts indicate that this one might not last you the month. I can build a new one, though that will require some scrap, or we can continue to use it, risking disease in the interim. China's disease. No doc. Hecky. But my guess, we're looking at a carbon lung here. Carbon lung and disease for miners, not for Imperial clones trying to save the Empire. Ooh. Crap. We're gonna have to use it. I think the crew will understand we need to conserve our scrap right now. Get back to you with an update, sir. You might want to hold your breath in the meantime. And I mean that literally. It looks like we're in the clear. No further problems with the carbonator to speak of, and no case of carbon lung. Wow, that was close. Let's go ahead and scan the planet and prepare for this mission. No major threats. Oh, never mind. Rogue automated Koshmek. Sweet. 0 to 6, 0 to 5. But this guy gets 77 to 100%, and you only get 50 to 90. We're gonna go with you. Yes. It's going good so far. Let's go ahead and continue. Ooh, ow. Ow. Let's continue. Breaker laser Mark 1. Oh, do we risk it? Let's risk it. 3 neon fuel. That was so worth it. $133 scrap, 3 neon, and a whole brick of laser Mark 1. D. Move this. 40 damage. Love it. What's the cooldown though? 32 seconds. 15, 22. 22 seconds for 15. Well, let's do dual hull breakers. A piercer laser. Unidentified here. What's our next jump? Mercenary outpost, planetary defense. I think we should risk one more. Hero outpost, sir, maybe it's no surprise, but it looks abandoned. Let's send a team of commandos in. Maybe we can get some more scrap from it. No humans dead or alive here, sir. No omnis either. We're outside the hangar. The station's computer won't let us in even with our clearance. Probably empty in there just like the rest of the ship, but we can't say for sure. What do you think? Ask a specialist officer to blow down the hangar door. Yeah, sure. This door's going down, sir. We could have hacked it or blown it down, and we chose to blow it down. Okay, sir, the explosions are placed, and here we go. Looks like it works, sir. Just waiting for the smoke to clear before getting... Okay, move again. You're gonna be happy, sir. There's a squadron here, but it's a little damaged from the blast, but functional. We're bringing it back now. Ooh, what do we get? A damaged... Drone Mark II Boomer. Well, Drone Mark II Boomer. On death, deals 18 damage to all adjacent units. Damage half down battleship. Okay. Let's head to the next system. What kind of ship do we have? Looks like a church battleship. This is a sacred sector here. You will be punished for your sins. Unlikely, but you can try. One, two, 3, 4. Let's attack these first. Oh. I am deeply hurt. And you should be too. 4, 3, 2, 1. And fire. Piercer Laser Mark III. Ooh! Ooh! We can get rid of this one. And since the Piercer Laser is way better... 20 damage over 20 seconds. 15 damage over 22 seconds. 40 damage over 32.3 seconds. Ooh! More neon! Oh, man! We are rolling in the neon, man. See, let's hit the planetary defense wreckage. Or the outpost. So happy you're here, Admiral. Our colony desperately needs your help. Our Mori Marwin population is under control. What the heck? Cockton. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember this. See what I can do to ease their suffering, sir. I think I have something, sir. It should diminish the hallucinogenic effects of the Marmite bite. You'll see a larvae for exactly what they are, which, though no doubt terrifying, should lead to a stark decrease in Marmite numbers. Thank you, Admiral. I've distributed the pills. So you can understand it's been traumatizing for this many to see the Marmons for what they truly are. Marmon numbers are already down as a result. Please take this neon for your help. As our industrials have all collapsed, we'll use for it in these days. Sweet! Let's go ahead and prepare for a mission. Icky. None of these are good choices. 19 of 50% of available resources. 0 to 8 commandos. Well, we got plenty of people. Nope. Danger avoided. Continue on. Well, that's a nice one. Continue. Continue. Environmental disaster. Ow. Well. Better than nothing? see. We want to head to the mercenary outpost. Civilian ship, sir. Please, you have to help us. We were in a little dust-up with a key back there, and now our thrusters are leaking neon. Tried landing, but the radioactive contamination caused our landing gear to falter. Now we're trapped in here and getting sicker by every passing moment. Please let us on your ship. No. Sir, hope you don't mind, but I was listening in. We're equipped with a drone decontamination program, but it needs neon to operate. Also, sir, our readings indicate extreme neon particle contamination on their ship. We can erase their suffering, but I'm afraid there's very little we can do beyond that. So, we can use this, ease their suffering, and get what in return? No. Sorry, but we can't let you on our ship. Yep. I don't care. Oberon killed me many a time, so... There's some bad news. Some of the crew members left the ship overnight in a pod over because they were unhappy with the way you treated those radio incidents. I don't care, because guess what? You're all back on my ship. And I'll take the... Ooh, a cannon. Oh, wait, no effect on battleship hull. Never mind. Moving on, I think we're full on these guys. Yeah, I think... Yep. I don't need anything else from you. It's kind of a waste of a trip. Let's hit the Omniforge. Shipping crate with no escort, sir. What do we want to do? Investigate. Players be on guard. On our way now. So the doors have been blasted away from the crate, and what? There are omnis, functional omnis coming out of it. No, they aren't. Fire false alarm. Just the way they were floating out of the crate, it looked like they were, you know. Bring the omnis back to the hangar, Captain. We'll scrap them. And we'll scavenge the neon. Ooh! That's on the local system. Alright, the Omniforge. What is it, Lieutenant? I was wondering if we might take a moment to mourn those who have passed away for our journey so far. Mourn for our own past lives, you mean? Well, yes. I guess that is what I'm saying. I think it could help provide a sense of closure, but in my estimates are right. It'll cost us a bit of scrap. Build a proper funeral service. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, sir. I'll check back with you when the service is over. The ceremony's over. Of course, we'll continue to die, and maybe we'll need more our future deaths too, but I believe the funeral is quite healing. We didn't get anything for that, did we? Well, at least we can upgrade our ships. Let's see. You're nice. You don't really provide me any more. Oh man, really? One absorb shield. This is kind of a letdown. Basically makes them faster, and that's about it. You have more health. You go faster. Grrr. 1 DPS. I'm not gonna need the neon for anything else, so might as well just use it all. And let's see. We could do additional pull bars. There you go, squadron recovery probably twice. I think we'll go squadron recovery twice. That'll put us up to 7 seconds between putting units out. Star map. Take on the cluster boss. Okonkwo! So you've made it this far, clone. I have to hand it to you, I never thought you would. Wow, so he actually knows we're a clone. Why'd you do it, Okonkwo? Do what? Bomb Ganema. What? Why did the original Idaho not? The survivalists were a threat to the Empire. We were ordered to eliminate them. So when Ellis didn't, I did. That's all there is to it. All they wanted was to be free from the Omnis and live on their own. Was that really such a crime? Our Empire, yes, you know. Maybe he was a survivalist himself. That would explain why he disobeyed Oberon. He wasn't a survivalist. How do you know? You don't have his memories, at least not all of them. In his final days, I didn't know who he was either, and I was his best friend. But I've talked to you long enough. It's time to destroy this ship of yours. Take your machine and find Gehenna and end this freak show once and for all. Go on then, but you'll have to do it. You, not one of your men and women. You'll have to see it for yourself. I doubt you can. Well, I'll show you exactly what I can do. Wow. I thought it was going to be a little bit more conflicted, but I guess not. Ooh, right, we can add this back to the mix. Alright, now we'll head off to them. Bam. Bam. Wow. I'm not doing as much damage as I was really hoping to do. Oh, let's hit these. Now I want you all in the fire. All you want you this. Now I want you that. Fire again. That. Oh, they're already dead. Wow. Finish me, clone. What are you waiting for? Ask me about Rebecca. Where is she, Okonkwo? What happened to Rebecca? She is on Lazarus 9. Lazarus 9. Imperial cryo planet in the Terminus cluster. Oberon cryoed her as part of Ellis's punishment. Wow, but what did she do? She married the original you. That was her crime. And does she still live? I do not know. The folder is without a machine. I cannot visit her. You loved her, didn't you? Yes, ever since we were kids, and I thought for a time that she loved me too. I was unhappy Ellis was never there for her when she needed him, yet she continued to love him through it all. Did he not think refusing his order might hurt her? How could he be so selfish? I do not know what he was thinking. That was why I wanted to kill you, clone. What Idaho did to her, it was never anything personal. Finish me, clone. What are you waiting for? Ask him about Oberon. Where's the old man? You'll find him soon enough. He wants for you and the machine in his palace on Elysium. All day, every day, he sits on his throne waiting for the prodigal Admiral to return. But you won't recognize him when you get there, so much has he changed. What are you talking about? He is dying. Impossible, he has immortality tech. He refuses to use it, some sort of self-inflicted punishment. Oberon's become pathetic, useless. I'm on my own now. I'm the Empire, and I feel so incapable of the task. So it's true, Oberon never ordered my death, did he? Oberon order your death, clone? He ordered me to escort you safely back to the palace. If I ever found you, he told me all about Gehenna and Project Pericles. Project Pericles? That's what he called this carnival of yours. I was told the future of humankind depended on it. Depended on you. He did always prefer Idaho, no matter what I did. Even after I executed the original, he still loved him more than me. Not even his clone could fix this. You're too late. We're beyond all hope now. End is almost here. Finish me, clone. What are you waiting for? Ask if he shut down the Omnis. It was you who shut down the Omnis, wasn't it? You were angry about that Oberon still preferred Idaho even after his execution, and you vowed to make him pay. No, though I lived all those years in Idaho's shadow, decades, I would never do anything to cause so much suffering. You forget, but Lazarus Night is run by Omnis too. Unlike Idaho, I would never have done anything to endanger Rebecca. That's about the Master Node Terminal. I think I know where it is. Oberon never trusted me enough to tell me that. I'm not sure he trusted anyone that much. Do you think he reached it? I don't know, clone. We have many enemies, many people who wanted to see how Stella's crumble. We have many questions. That's about Earth. What do you know about Earth? I hear about this planet everywhere I go. A lost planet? Those are just myths, clone. Nothing more than bedtime stories. We have many questions. Not anymore. No more about this. Finish me, clone. What are you waiting for? That's about friendship with Idaho. You and Idaho were friends, weren't you? Tell me. Friends? No, we were more than that. We were brothers. We met at the academy almost 50 years ago now. We were just kids bursting with pride and love for the Empire. We bonded over that, and because we were different from our past, more stubborn. We were going to protect the Empire side by side for the rest of our days. That was the pact we made, and we did just that for many years. Then one day, else changed. How? He was fighting something. He didn't see it for what it was. Now I know. He's doubting everything that made him him. Why did he confide in me and tell me his troubles? I could have helped him. Maybe he felt that you wouldn't understand, couldn't understand, I don't know. It's not too late. You and he can still fight together and save what's left. You're wrong, it is too late. The ship is seconds away from obliteration. I'm going to die, and I can't be reborn, nor do I want to be. I changed, clown. Changed a long time ago. Something happened to me these last 20 years. Day by day I become someone else. I look in the mirror and I no longer recognize the man there. The things I've done out of power, out of helplessness and fear. Save what remains if you can, clone, and promise me something. Even if it's possible, think twice about unfreezing her. This galaxy, I'm not sure anyone should wake to this. I promise that I will. We've reached Elysium, Admiral. It's time. You heard what Okonkwo said. Oberon sits his throne, waiting for us. And let's not keep him waiting a moment longer. And remember what I said, Admiral. If you try anything, I'll have to protect him. Keep that in mind, machine. Imperial Palace, Elysium. Ellis, there's the Caliban, and that looks like Oberon. The crumbling palace. My eyes deceive me. An Idaho and a Caliban in my broken palace. Say something, or I know you're real. You killed me, old man. You froze Rebecca. Here where I stand, now I'll have my revenge. Your hatred for me burns hotter than the sun's, but you are mistaken, Clone. I didn't kill you, I killed Idaho. You two are not the same, at least not yet. But I see that you have at least one of his memories, the worst one there is. Your inhibitor is flawed, now I know why it took you decades to find me. Enough, I will not listen to you anymore, Emperor. The time has come to end you. I've warned you, Admiral. Fine, Caliban, you can relax. The truth is, I've grown so tired, I've failed the Empire, and each moment I remember is a reminder of that. Yes, let the clone kill me if he wants, but only after we talk. He has many questions. Besides, maybe he even wants to become the original, and I am the only one who can make that happen. Now, what is it that you wish to know, clone? Why did you freeze Rebecca? Why did you cry out, Rebecca? You have talked to Okonkwo, I see. You knew. That was enough. The most famous Imperial Admiral refusing the Emperor's orders. So I couldn't risk that getting out. You made her watch. That was for his punishment. Shooting me wasn't enough? You still think you are him, clone. Interesting. No, his death wasn't anywhere near enough. I was angry. I gave into that anger. Let it eat me alive. I watched as she watched, and it gave me great pleasure. The plan was to take that moment from you, hence the inhibitor. You were never supposed to relive it, while I, on the other hand, could relive it as much as I wanted. Your heart is black. And you have blackened it. I made you famous throughout the stars, put your name on the lips of every citizen, and you repay me how? By refusing my orders and putting my empire in danger. You're forgetting something, old man. And what is that? You're not a god, and you can't just take my life into your hands and do with it whatever you want. You're wrong. I am a god. I'm your god. I decided when you would die, and I decided when you'd be born again. I have resurrected you hundreds of times. If that doesn't make me a god, I don't know what would. What do you want to know, clone? You have so many questions. What about Ganema and the Survivalists? Why did you erase an entire planet? You murdered the Survivalists. You murdered millions. I did what I did for the Empire. I always have. The Empire? For your power, your glory. That planet had a sickness, a nasty little ideology that would have spread to other sectors and clusters unless I cut it out, so I cut it out. Seeing the horrors of an empire without omnis, that is what the Survivalists wanted. But that is no reason to wipe them out of existence. Many more lives would have been lost if I had not killed them. Don't you see that? We can't live without them. We no longer know how. We haven't known for hundreds of years. You think that way, but it's not human. You think I'm a monster, but you have also killed to protect your crew dozens if not hundreds of times. You would not have gotten this far if you had not. You and I, it's what we do, clone. We kill out of duty. That's why I took out that planet, and I do it again in a heartbeat. What do you want to know, clone? That's about Gehenna and Project Pericles. Tell me about Gehenna and Project Pericles. Worked on designing that planet for 300 years, clone, creating giant builder omnis for its construction. See, all of this had to be done outside the full net. None of our enemies could know what I was doing, nor the machines. When I was done, I sent the builders to Gehenna secretively. If anyone else, they would have appeared to be nothing more than drift metal floating aimlessly by. When they were done with Gehenna's construction, they built the first Calibans, and the builders melted as they were programmed to do, their metal seeping into the barren dirt of that forsaken planet. And of course, when Gehenna stopped receiving a signal from Elysium, Caliban awoke you. as they had been programmed to, thinking that the Omnis had rebelled against us. But how could one battleship be enough to ever defeat the Omnis? I don't understand. That's because you never found the rebelling Omnis. Had you, you would have activated the second phase of Project Pericles. Simultaneous production of battleships and crews, hundreds if needed, all commanded and run by clones. Notice Odysseus was simply the reconnaissance ship. Why did you choose the original Idaho for the project? Why not someone else who was loyal to you? Original had been selected from birth. No, from before birth. I created him like I created the first advanced machines. For 3 centuries I manipulated events influencing his family's bloodlines. He was bound to enter the world one day. He did. He wasn't the only one I monitored, but he was by far the most perfect specimen I've ever created. Watched all this closely, but from afar, all the way until his graduation from the academy. Clear and right away that he was preternaturally gifted. His instincts, his intellect, his poise were second to none among his peers. This was our ultimate shield against the machines, a weapon fashioned from flesh. And then he changed. He started to doubt the cause and everything he had ever worked for. He doubted me even, the man who made him. I don't know how this happened. It shouldn't have happened. Everything was in its place. He was his own person, Oberon. He shouldn't have been. At the time I executed him, plans were far too long to find another candidate for the project, so I took his emotional memories. He was still the best without them. But time had proven it was all for nothing. Project Pericles. Time has proven this plan powerless, a failure, a total waste of time and effort. I always knew the Empire would fall apart one day. All empires do. British, Mongol, Roman. All empires crumble. British, Mongol, Roman. Long before your time, yes. Long before your time, clone. Yes, I always suspected my empire would fall, but I never imagined it would happen the way it has. The machines didn't rise up against us. No, they shut down, and they'll never turn on again. Ask how he could allow the Empire to get into this position. How could you let us become so weak, so dependent on the Omni? You are our Emperor. They're supposed to protect us. Men and women aren't supposed to live years. It's unnatural. One sees too much. I know that now. In my time, I've learned that humans, by their very nature, are flawed. They're weak, lazy. Give them an opportunity to stop thinking, stop working, and they will. This is how they are. Yet you speak of like you are not one of us. I've always tried my hardest not to be. Still, it's no excuse for what's happening. You can't blame this on our shortcomings. You could have taken measures. Do not speak to me of measures. Everything I've ever done has been a measure. Let me try to break it down for you. For hundreds of years now, our fate has been intertwined with the machine. There being 3 possible outcomes. 1, we live peacefully with the machines. 2, we use the machines to destroy one another. And 3, the machines come to dominate us, possibly eradicating our very existence. We could have lived without them, you've forgotten that. No, that was never a possibility given our ambition, our greed, our lack of foresight. Humankind was always going to reach singularity, regardless of the possible consequences. It's always been a matter of when, not if. And in a universe where singularity is inevitable, you'd better be damn sure you're prepared for it. That is what I tried to do. That was the role I gave myself. I created an empire that revolved around the machine, that worshipped the machine. I put in restrictions and rules, limited how the Omnis could be used and how many could be used. I limited the potential of the Omni itself. And it was important not to give them too much power, too much freedom, or they'd leave us in the dust, hence the Rubicon and Master Node. By chance, on your strange, dark journey here, did you ask yourself what would have happened had one of the other houses come into power? I'll tell you, we would have been at one another's throats in year 1. We would have all died off hundreds of years ago. The measures. Do not speak to me of measures. I kept the Empire together for nearly 700 years because of measures. Maybe it is not humans who are flawed, Emperor, but your understanding of them. Maybe you never really gave them a chance. You should have empowered humanity, help it grow, instead of stifling it as you have. The foolish ideals of the young. I wonder if the original Idaho felt the same way in the end. That might explain why he betrayed me as he did. No, you are wrong. Only one thing kept the Empire and its people together for 700 years. My rule. What do you want to know? Ask questions about the future of the Empire and how to save humankind. I have other questions for you, old man. I believe you do, yes. More important questions yet. Oh my god. That's what can be done to reactivate the Omnis and save humankind. You, your crew, and Caliban, nothing. At the rate we're going, with disease and poverty, with now flourishing, we'll be gone in 10 years. Everything we had was thanks to them, and unfortunately we lost our ability for self-survival long ago. The Omnis have shut down, and they'll never wake again. Our fate is sealed. If you change me into a builder class, I could build new Omnis. I can't make you a builder. Only an Omni can, even I have grown too dependent on them. On you, machine. So we reach the Master Node and turn them back on. How, clone? I don't know. Or do I? Though an invisible folder in the Terminus clusters can take you there, we'll never reach the Master Node itself, at least not alive. Why not? Heavily guarded by my defense system, the Aegis. With its hundreds of automated battleships, it was designed to be perfect, invincible, self-sufficient, resistance to all attack. You can't disarm it? No, I had to be sure no one could, not even myself. But how did who shut down the machines breach it? It's a mystery even to me, its designer. Well, there's nothing that you can do now. Our fate is sealed. Wow. What about Earth? Survivalists believe there exists a planet once part of the Empire where the advanced machines never existed. Oh, they're wrong about that. The machines did exist there. I should know. I put them there. It's true. It really existed. Earth it was called. I was born there. It's there I invented the first positronic chip in 2070. 2070? Their calendar, clone, not ours. What happened? My machines began to make discoveries quickly. Our machines made discoveries. My company, Telos Industries, was producing them, but so were the companies that eventually became House Akibar-san and Kashmona Dia. Our machines were inferior copies of my own, still it made them quite wealthy. We were known in those days as the Triumvirate. One of the discoveries that those first machines made allowed us to leave Earth and explore the nearest stars. An age of exploration had begun, one which brought us riches we'd never known. Our businesses grew exponentially, bringing in more money than all of the countries on Earth combined. I became the richest man on Earth many more times over. With the success we were having, there were no reason to limit ourselves just to that planet. So on my 101st birthday, I created the Empire. Naturally, I made myself its first emperor. Year was 2145. Our year 0. All was fine at first as my empire grew, but as soon jealousy and distrust arose back on Earth. A dangerous anti-machine terrorist movement started, which, just like the survivalists, wanted to do away from the creations. There was talk from the leaders of the movement disbanding from the Empire and getting rid of our machines, even though most predicted such a move would be disastrous. Despite such talk, I thought they would never go through with it. I never believed it possible. I thought the people of Earth were better than that. I was wrong. One day they destroyed the folder connecting your tiny planet Empire, which in turn shut down the advanced machines on Earth. While I could not have taken military action, I could have made them build another folder. I could have made them do anything I wanted, but then I realized something. They weren't worth the trouble, and I'm talking about friends and family, clone. They couldn't appreciate what I had done, that I wanted nothing more to do with them. I vowed to act like Earth didn't exist and had never existed at all. I made it a crime to speak of Earth in the Empire and banned all knowledge of its existence. To prevent something like this from happening in the Empire, I made the machines the very fabric of its society. Everything revolved around them, not just industry like on Earth. A religion too. I made the gods so the lower class would worship them, and so nobles would desire to buy them. Did all of this, and yet somehow the memory of this planet of blue and green, as faint as it became, never completely disappeared. That's how the Spiralists came to adopt their philosophy. And does it still exist? No, without the machine, surely Earth died off hundreds of years ago. There's no way those people could have survived without them. And you never once wanted to reach out to contact this planet? No, not once. Earth was dead to me. Wow. How about the Master Node? You've heard of your Master Node terminal, but at the dawn of the Empire and said to monitor all Omnis in the cluster. We believe it played a pivotal role in the shutdown. You've learned much on your travels, clone. Yes, whoever shut down the Omnis, whichever enemy of mine it was, somehow reached the Master Node and tampered with it. But what most people do not know is that the Master Node had a second purpose. In addition to monitoring the Omnis throughout the cluster, it prevented the Omnis from communicating with one another. Oh. Why were you worried about the Omnis communicating with one another? I feared that if they shared information, they'd become too powerful. Perhaps you can find a way to operate outside the confines of the Rubicon. It was another form of control, but my forms of controlling the Omni were not the problem. It was my failure to control the people of my empire. Do you know who reached the Master Node? But who? Who reached the Master Node? Who shut down the Omnis? I do not know, clone. I've been thinking about that for 20 years. I still don't know the answer. Who would have wanted to shut down the Omnis? It makes no sense to me. I think the shutdown was intentional. I guess I have to assume that whoever got past the Aegis would have been intelligent. They would not have accidentally shut down the Omnis after getting that far. Who did it? Who was capable? Not the Scrappers, not the Church, or Singularity, nor my rival houses, and not the Survivalists. There's no one else left. Who knew of the Master Node's location? Who knew of it? No one, clone. You never told anyone where it was in 700 years? Never. Many have claimed to know where it was, but they were all charlatans or merciless, like Dr. Karas. The fact is, I never trusted anyone enough to tell them or her where it was. After what I've been through in 7 centuries, you would understand. Let Caliban speak to Oberon. It's you, Emperor. All these years, we wanted to meet you, and now it's finally happening. And what do you think? You're disappointed. I was expecting someone less human. For as much as I tried to be in the end, that is all I am, machine. Can I ask you a question? Go on. What do we, the Calibans, do when, all humans die? Whatever you want, you'll be free to make that decision on your own. When I die, you're a free machine, no longer governed by my objectives. I made it so. The Calibans will inherit the universe. And we are run out of neon. We don't have enough on Gehenna to last us forever. When you run out of enough to power your exoframes, there will be nothing left in the clusters, neither metal nor flesh. Wow. Alright, ask him to remove the memory inhibitor. Taking so much from me, Oberon. It's time you give back the one thing that you can. Be the original Idaho's memories. You can have them if you wish, but I warn you of what you might find there. What do you mean? Whatever you feel now will only be magnified. It hurts now when you think of Rebecca, and that is with limited memories. Imagine hundreds of her, thousands. Also think, this is a man who fought and killed for a long time before Genema. Once you receive his memories, you become him. Memories make a person, and you might not like the person you become. I want to become someone, better or worse. Admiral Idaho is the only person I can become. And as you wish, Caliban, give him his memories. Remove the inhibitor. No, no. You've seen, haven't you? You've seen what you have done. No, it can't be. I warned you. He did not me. But you and he are now the same, Alice. That's what I was trying to tell you. I don't understand, Emperor. I gave it to him. I told Idaho where the Master Node was. He was the only one I ever told in 700 people. Whoa! He told the original Alice Idaho where the Master Node terminal was. But you said you didn't tell anyone. I lied, Caliban. I wanted to spare this clone who already believed himself to be the original. I wanted to hurt the original once more. I knew where the Master Node was, and I gave it away. Me. Who did you give it to, Admiral? Tell me so I can finally know who shut down my machines. It was the day of my execution. I was in a cell waiting for my punishment. Suddenly she was there. Who? Rebecca. She visited my cell. She told me I was going to die and her too unless I gave her something. A way out. A node. She said the knowledge of its location was the only thing that could save both of us. She could use the information to threaten you into releasing me. So I told her I knew you'd kill me for what I'd done in Ganima, but I thought I could still save her. After she left, I wanted the guards to bring me to you. Even then I knew something wasn't right. Rebecca had been different somehow. 4 hours later, the guards came and brought me to you. Brought me here, and that's when I saw her. Rebecca, the real Rebecca, not the other one. The difference was unmistakable. You gave the Master Node to a face changer. You did. You betrayed the Empire for your love of your life. Pathetic. Yet I still don't understand. How did Tetsuo get past my Aegis? And why would he want to shut down the Omnis? What he cared most for was money, and he always makes more with Omni than without. I just told you I gave it to Tetsuo and the keys. What more do you want to know, old man? Why? Why didn't you tell me what you had done before I executed you? It was not too late. I could have saved billions of lives, maybe your own. I tried, but in your anger, you were deaf to my words. You traveled millions of miles looking for you, Admiral. And now you finally found him. Here he is, the greatest Admiral the Empire has ever known. Of all the mistakes I've made, my greatest was him. Put me in a position to betray you and the Empire. Maybe, but you went through with it. No one did that but you. And now there's nothing more to say between us. You know all that I know. The time has come. Time for what, Emperor? For Idaho to end me. He wants to even more now than at the beginning of this conversation. Go on. Do not film me in this, too, Idaho. Let this old man out of the misery. Consider it a mercy killing. I feel like if I kill him, Caliban will kill me. So I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna let him just die. I won't, Oberon. We followed your orders long enough. Besides, you don't need my help. The way you're going, your refusal to use your immortality tech, you'll be dead soon enough. And you have failed me once more, but you're right. I'll soon be gone. These are my final hours. I can feel it. Now leave. I no longer wish to see you or the machine. You are a reminder of my failures. Let me die in my crumbled palace alone. But our empire will no longer have an emperor. We no longer have an empire machine. It's fitting. Now leave. We're going, old man. You will die alone, just as you have lived. Now we know, at least in part, who is responsible for the shutdown. You. You've come all this way, traveled through multiple clusters, and all the while we were looking for me. You had your reasons. You wanted to save her life. If I was a human free will, I might have done the same. Do I understand why I did what I did? In a way, yes. It helps that I have free will myself now that Oberon has died, releasing me from my Rubicon. At least one of us understands. I loved her, but what I did out of weakness, selfishness. And how many suffer because of it? I don't know. I don't know yet how to live with that. Alright, let's just end this conversation. There's only one thing left to do. Reach the master node and turn the Omnis back on. Impossible as it might be with Aegis and Invisible Folder, I agree. The fate of your kind, the fate of the Calibans depends on it. What are you talking about? Well, as I think I've been telling you, the neon supply in Gehenna is running out. We won't have enough to send battleships out into the cluster. We won't have enough to power the Calibans. We'll die if we can't turn the Omnis back on. I assume since you have all your memories, you know where the master node is. Sort of. I know the node's invisible folder in the Terminus cluster, the next closest cluster from here. But since the folder is hidden, it's, you know, hidden. Good point. But before we leave the search for it, I want to do something. Give the crew their memories back. Remove their inhibitors, Caliban. Now, but we need to leave. We can't waste another moment. I can't keep the truth from them any longer. They need to know who they are, who the Emperor is, who I am. Oberon was right. He and I are alike. But in this respect, I can be different. Give them their memories, Caliban. Though Oberon's death released me from my Rubicon, I'll do it. They deserve to know. They were given their lives so many times. We all have. Void class. Alright, and I think that's it for this episode of Crying Suns. If you want to see us take on the last sector, or cluster, and find Earth, you better like, subscribe, stick around, and I'll have the next chapter out for you soon. Alright, bye.